Hello everyone, this is me Sharon. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to show you how to make this phone pouch using the Alpine stitch, or what we also call bead stitch. Now I have used 4 kinds of yarn, but they are all made of 100% acrylic. So in this project, you can use whatever yarn of your choice. You can make this as gifts, or if you want, you can turn this one into a purse. Just add a zipper. I am sure you will be able to learn the pattern in no time, and you can make this as a coin purse as well. So for this project, I'll be using 4 colors of yarn because I don't have a gradient one. If you have a gradient yarn, then that would be perfect. Now you can use 1 color for this project. You don't need 4 colors, but because I want my color to become like an ombre effect, so that's what I'm going to do. I'd probably change color after working after 4 rounds. So and the hook that I'll be using is 3.5mm crochet hook. So without further ado, let's get started. I would go first with the darkest color of yarn. Now because this one is a fingering weight kind, I am going to do double pull or double strand, but if you have a medium weight yarn, you don't have to do the same. So to start, I'm going to work a slip knot, and then I am going to start chaining in multiples of 2. Alright, so after chaining 60, which is in multiples of 2, we're going to slip stitch on the first chain made to form a ring. So make sure it's not twisted, and I usually run it in between my fingers to make sure that it won't be twisted after slip stitching on the first chain. So it has to be 60 chains in total. So after that, we're gonna work in rounds, and to start round 1, we're going to chain 1, work 1 single crochet into the same stitch, 1 single crochet into every stitch around. Once you get back around, you're gonna work a slip stitch on top of the first single crochet made. So by the end of this round, you should have 60 single crochets in total, which is still in multiples of 6. Now for round 2, we're going to work a double crochet into every stitch. Now to start, you can work chain 3, which counts as 1 double crochet, and then into the next stitch work 1 double crochet. So into every stitch work 1 double crochet. To end the round, you're going to work a slip stitch on top of the third beginning chain, And then round 3, chain 1 single crochet into the same stitch and into every stitch around. Alright, so to end around, make sure to work a slip stitch on top of the first single crochet made. So now we have finished the third round, and for round 4, that is where we're going to start our Alpine stitch or bead stitch. And to start that, we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to work a front post double crochet in here into the second round. While you're doing that, make sure you skip the stitch behind it. So at the same time, we're also skipping 1 stitch, and then you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next. And then we're gonna do another front post, and then we're skipping this single crochet here and the double crochet on round 2. That is where we're gonna do our front post. So we will be repeating this until we get back around, and then we're going to skip the stitch behind it, so we're gonna work 1 double crochet into the next. So we keep doing that until we get back around. So now I am working on my last stitch, and this is going to be 1 front post double crochet just below the skipped single crochet there. So I'm gonna do my front post double crochet, and then I'm going to end this round by working a slip stitch on top of the third beginning chain. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna chain 1, work 1 single crochet into the same stitch. So that's gonna be 1 single crochet into every stitch until I get back around. To end around, you're going to work a slip stitch on top of the first single crochet made, and then chain 1, fasten off if you're going to change color. And you don't have to do this if you're planning to work with 1 color of yarn only. So for this one, because I want to make an ombre effect kind of purse, so I'm going to use a lighter shade of pink after round 5. So for round 6, I am going to work a standing double crochet on top of the stitch which is below the front post double crochet. So it has to be under the stitch that has front post double crochet underneath, because we're gonna do a front post double crochet into the regular double crochet of the previous round. So in here I'm gonna skip this single crochet here, and underneath that there's a regular double crochet, and that is where I will work a front post double crochet and then 1 double crochet into the next, and then after that make sure to skip a single crochet, because underneath that there's a regular double crochet wherein we're gonna do a front post double crochet, and then we keep doing that until the end of round. So basically you're going to repeat round 4, 5, and 6 over and over again until you get to your desired height for the purse or pouch. Alright, so in here I'm going to finish this round, and to finish that first I need to work a front post double crochet one last time, and then since we started with a standing double crochet, that is where I'm gonna work my slip stitch, which is on top of the standing double crochet. So there you go. Now I'm going to work one round of one single crochet into every stitch around, and then I'll be repeating working the Alpine stitch, but this time I am going to work a front post into this part right here, so it's in between those front post double crochets of the previous round. So but before that I need to finish working one single crochet into every stitch around. And then since I am going to change color, I'm going to change color after finishing this one round of one single crochet into every stitch. So once I get back around, I'm going to slip stitch and then fasten off, because I'll be joining a new color. Now into the next clip, I am going to show you how it's gonna look like after working a few more rows in different colors. This is what it's going to look like after working a few rounds, and then into the last round I'm going to work a slip stitch, and then I'm going to make a loop for the button. So I'm going to chain maybe 15 or more depending on how big the button is. So it's really important to have your button ready so it's easy to know how many chains you need. So in here I'm going to chain up, and after that I'm going to work a slip stitch into the next stitch. So I will continuously work a slip stitch for the edging. So that is also optional, but if you think it's enough, you don't have to do that. But in my case, after checking the button if it fits well into the loop, I am going to work slip stitches around so that this will create an edging for my pouch. So once I get back around, I will just join the last chain, but this is how I do it. So usually I cut off the yarn just before I work a slip stitch, and I'm going to create a chain to join into the first chain I made so that it would look invisible. So this is how I do it. Next step is you're going to sew the button, which is the easiest. Of course, it has to be in the center, and that's what it looks like. The last step is we're going to close off the bottom of this pouch. So we're going to flip it, turn the inside out, making sure that the button stays in the center. And then we're going to close off by working 1 single crochet on both stitches across. So that is how easy it is. Now I find it really much better to close off the bottom by working single crochets because it makes the pouch spacier, unlike if you're going to work a slip stitch or a whip stitch. That can also work, but it doesn't make the pouch spacey. So if you want the pouch to be a little bit spacey, you can do this technique. And also, if you would like to have a compartment, just keep on working single crochets until you get to the height of this pouch. So I'm going to show you that in the next clip. Alright, so after this, you may want to work your last stitch, chain 1, fasten off, and then that's it. But if you want to add another compartment, all you need to do is just chain 1, turn, and then work 1 single crochet into every stitch all across the row. And also you have to consider the number of rows for each. It has to be the same number. So if you start off with 30 single crochets in the first row, every row must have 30 single crochets in total as well. But since I don't want to add a compartment, I'm going to stop right here, chain 1, and then I'm going to just fasten off and then weave in the ends after. Once you weave in all the ends, then you can now flip it to the right side, and you can see that this will be the bottom part, and then this is the lock. Now for the opening, you can either add a zipper to it, or you can just add a button and this one. So if you're not adding zipper, work on making this one, and then that's it. You now have a phone pouch using the Alpine stitch. So imagine if you're using a gradient yarn, it would really look very pretty, but also it is pretty even when you're using 4 shades of colors in pink or in whatever color you want. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like. If you have other purses or ideas you want to see, I have a lot of projects that I have made on this channel that you might want to check back on if you're new, because I have made lots of purses with zipper and some souvenirs that are really easy to make, and I'm sure you're gonna love making it as well. So thank you so much and have a good day.